Hello, it is Ihlamur and I'm coming to you with another Settlers video, and this time it's Settlers 3! I have a whole new adventure for me, so getting into the tutorial, you'll see I'm clicking through the arrows, I'm moving things around. I have played this tutorial once before, so I'm going to do things a little bit differently. There are no roads in Settlers 3, that's one of the biggest differences between Settlers 2 and Settlers 3, but there is this grid, and as you can see, we're putting some buildings down on the grid. Now the grid is really small, so people have much finer movement, but at the same time buildings cover a lot more of that grid, so we're going to have to learn how to deal with that. I find one of the most difficult things is the people. You see these people, we've got diggers going to dig the building, we've got builders who are eventually going to build our building, and the rest I guess are carriers, apart from of course our soldiers. Population is a little bit different as well. They don't go sit in a storehouse, they kind of just stand around, and then carriers can become either the toolsmiths or foresters, or in this case a woodcutter, and they go and get an axe which just has to be lying around, and I'm going to have to figure out how storage is dealt with because it is a little bit different. I'll show you how I deal with that, at least in this tutorial, a little bit later. But now I've got a woodcutter, he'll go and chop the wood, and then we need a sawmill just like Settlers 2, a forester, and that's a system. You also need a stonecutter to complete your system because as per usual all the buildings are made out of planks and stone. So there we go, we've got our stone. Military buildings. Now I do like the menu here. You've got your resource buildings, your food buildings, your military buildings, and your miscellaneous buildings and military buildings. These are the guard houses. We'll figure out how to use those eventually, I suppose, but right now they're used to expand our borders. As ever, you can play around with the different settings to control your city, and I started playing around with how many carriers, diggers and builders that I would have, but that did get me into trouble. I got too many diggers and builders, so there weren't enough people to start manning the other buildings. Was it the end of the world? No, it was not, because I built myself a residence which gives me more settlers, and this is how you get more settlers. They don't just automatically generate, which is useful, so then I'm able to recruit my geologists. As ever, Settlers 3 requires you to have geologists who go and find ore in the mountains, and as per usual you've got iron, coal and gold, which are your basic resources. However, in this one there's no stone, so stone cutters are going to become really important because the only stone I think you can get is above ground. Once your geologists find, in this case, iron, you go and get yourself an iron mine. I'm not quite sure where it is. There it is. And you place it down on the iron deposits. Same with coal, and because I've done this before, I know kind of where to look. The messages will inform you of where you should be putting mines. It'll also inform you when you don't have enough equipment to fill a building, for example. So it's very helpful. Now, what do you do with that iron and coal? The first thing you do is you smelt the iron into iron bars, and so you have to have an iron smelter. And then from there, you can make tools and weapons using a toolsmith and a weaponsmith. The toolsmith obviously in the resources buildings and the weaponsmith in the military buildings. In order to work, the miners need food, and so we're building up our food systems. There are three basic food systems: a bread system, which is grain, a farm, a windmill and a bakery; a ham system, which is a grain, pig farm and a slaughterhouse; and the fish system, which is literally just a fisherman. The menus will make a lot of sense if you've ever played Settlers 1 or Settlers 2, and they allow you to figure out where your goods are, how you're going to distribute them, where they should go, what should be made, so all of that makes sense, and I'm sure we'll do a video on that specifically in the future, so watch out for it when it comes. For this tutorial though, all you have to do is move that gold into your storage, which I've done, and that causes your soldiers to get boosted from their 50% strength to 73% strength. Not quite sure how the strength works yet, but we'll get there. And then you can go and attack your enemies. The gold, by the way, was just found lying around on the western side of the map. Combat's very different. It's not one-on-one anymore. It seems to be group. It looks like it may be probability based. The little dot above your head tells you how strong you are, and then you go and attack people. And once you've attacked all the people and taken over the building, then you win, which I'm about to do maybe now. Now, there we go. All the people are gone, so I won. the land opens up and you get to see everything, and you see that it's not a huge island. Now, it took me about 5 minutes to show you this, but it took me just over half an hour to complete it in real time if we look at the timer. But there is a quicker way, and I'll show that to you now. If you ignore all the instructions and you just click on your whole army and you send them off to fight, then frankly they will go and fight and they will defeat your enemies, although you will take some more losses, and that is to be expected. Let me give you my first impressions. Number one, it's a very different game from Settlers 2 in the way that the economy works, but quite a similar game in the way the menus work and the way that that buildings interact. So systems still take place. We're just going to have to figure out how to deal with that. The other part is combat. Combat's very different. We're going to have to figure out how that works. And I think this is going to be a much harder game to optimize because the game is not allowing you to make as many decisions. However, I am an optimizer, so we're going to try and optimize it as much as possible. Until the next episode, thank you so much for joining me, and you can see that this tutorial can be completed in under 3 minutes, and I bet it's possible to do it in even less time. I'll see you next time for the first mission of the campaign. Exciting. Have a lovely day, everybody.